Hey YouTube, this is David with another little video. I'm going to try and keep this really short and sweet, get to the point. It will be a rant, and I'll try and keep it to under 5 minutes. This is something that I could just go on and on about if I don't watch it. So let me just speak my mind and end this video quickly, not waste any of your time. In keeping with the title of this video, I am asking for you, all of you who are lovers of truth. That's the way I'll say it. If you're sane, if you're sensible, if you have an inkling of upholding that which is, how shall we say, decent and in order, things like that, please do not do something, and I'll get to the thing I don't want you to do, and hope that you won't do as this video progresses. As you can see from my channel, I, as a hobby, put up little movie reviews, one of which was a review of a movie I saw recently, well, not really recently, but this year, Darren Aronofsky's Noah, and I call it Aronofsky's Noah, starring Russell Crowe, 2014, supposedly based on the biblical person of Noah, for a reason. I don't want to just say Noah, as in that biblical character, because it bears no resemblance, really, to that character. I ranted for over an hour on a video that I'm afraid I can no longer find in the files on my computer. I was going to add it to this new channel of video reviews. Unfortunately, I won't be doing that. I'll just say that somewhere someone knows that I made that video, and I'll just briefly mention it here now, that it was a rant and not a review, how it was me going on and on about the things I didn't like about the movie Noah, how it bore no resemblance to the biblical character of Noah, the Noah you read about in the Bible. And I keep saying the Noah you read about in the Bible because the people who made this film, Noah, said that it was based off of the biblical character of Noah. There's a quote online that can be easily found. We believe that, and that's a very interesting thing that they said about that. We believe that this, so you can see that people bandy the word believe about like it's nothing at all, and that's what's going to be happening with this upcoming movie, Exodus, Gods and Kings. Anyway, let me just talk a little bit more about Noah before I really get into why I don't want you to go see, at the theater, Ridley Scott's Exodus, Gods and Kings. Of course, this is just my opinion. I know that people have their own, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do. But this is just the least thing I can do in the fight for sanity. Making this nothing little video that maybe somebody will listen to and maybe even share their thoughts about what they think about it. Maybe somebody will just cuss me out. Anyway, I'll probably just disable the comments and just skip all that nonsense. Anyway, the Noah movie, I'm afraid, was just a precursor to this other movie. How these people who don't seem to have any desire at all to maintain the integrity of the biblical narrative of the story of Scripture are making these movies. Noah was, to me, atrocious. You see this psychotic bearded Noah, Russell Crowe, wanting to kill children. You see these drug-induced visions, hat tip to Anthony Hopkins from Silence of the Lambs, cannibal guy. You see a lot of nonsense. When I read in the Bible about how this Noah character was a preacher of righteousness, I believe it says, in those words, how he found grace in God's eyes when no one else did. That's not the person that I saw in that movie. And I won't even get into the Galaxy Quest rock monsters, the supposed Angels Left Behind, whatever nonsense that look like rip-offs of the Galaxy Quest rock monsters and all that business. I'm basically just thinking about the character of Noah that I saw in the film. Anyway, I didn't like the film, and it all went downhill from the time when he let that young woman, that his son, playing the character Ham in the movie, he went off to try and find himself someone, because everybody had someone but him, except for Japheth, who was still just a very little boy. And when Russell Crowe's Noah runs off and leaves that girl and she gets trampled to death, I felt ill. And it was just one thing after another from that point on. I'm like, this guy's a psycho. This has nothing to do with... Anyway, you get my point. I know I'm going over time already. Let me just get to it. I'm not going to be going to see Exodus, Gods and Kings at the theater. If I ever watch it, it'll probably be on Netflix. Give it a watch to see just exactly what they did. But if a trailer says anything, and usually when you see a trailer and you see footage, it does what it's meant to do. Give you a little taste of what you're going to see. And what I get a taste of is warrior Moses. When I read the Bible, I don't really see anything about warrior Moses fighting Ramses next to the Red Sea and the this, that, and the other. And I'm not going to get into the racial whatnot. Everybody's saying, oh, it's just a bunch of white people playing. Whatever. They're actors trying to tell a story. The problem is, what is the story? What's the source of it? The Bible is the source. So why aren't they sticking to the source? I had the same gripe when I was talking about Noah. I got off on to talking about Andy Serkis wanting to make an Animal Farm movie using his animatronics, whatnot, bodysuit dots and all that, to make a really good-looking, I suppose, Animal Farm movie. And yet it's supposed to be kind of a family film. That's his quote, family film. And yet he said in his own words, Andy Serkis did in this article you can find online, that it's not a fable about communism. But if George Orwell, the writer of Animal Farm, says that it's a fable about communism, then it's a fable about communism. And if you read Animal Farm, you know it's a fable about communism. Why in the world would you want to make a film called Animal Farm and it not be a fable about communism? The answer, you're stealing. These people are just stealing. They're stealing the name, doing whatever they want to do with it. Exodus, Gods and Kings. It's going to be, no doubt, very little God, which when you read the Bible, when you read Exodus, it's essentially God working in history to accomplish his purposes. It's the people in bondage the 400 years, just the way he said they would be, and then he leads them out just as he said they would be. He heard their cry and all this, and delivered the children of Israel through Moses, out of Egypt, through the Red Sea, and on, and yet I'm seeing a bunch of battle scenes, and please hear me, please hear me, please hear me. Don't go see this movie at the theater, please. I beg of you. If this movie were to bomb, and I hope that it does, a movie made by Ridley Scott, no less, if it were to bomb, what a message it could potentially send to these people who keep doing this, because they know that there are still a lot of people who would go and see a supposed Bible-based film. It's just that it's not Bible-based. It is not. Please, find your soul. I beg of you. Open your heart. Look into your innermost thoughts and see what I'm trying to tell you, please. And I'll end on this. Please don't go see this movie at the theater. See you in the next review. Take care.